literally caught it with 3 fingers. Take a look at this. He caught it with 3 fingers. Now ask yourself, why is he able to do that? Is he just that good? Is Beckham just that good? He's such a great receiver? Well, let's just take a look. Now this guy here, he's exposing, I guess, what they call stick-em gloves. And he goes out to a high school and he puts these wide receivers out there and gives them no gloves, asks them to make some one-hand catches. They can't do it. Then he hands them the stick-em gloves, right? And now, oh, look at that. Magic. Now they're the best wide receivers in the game. Huh. Oh, but it's not just football players. Let's take a look. Oh, look, we can give it to a regular guy on the street and he can make a one-handed catch. We can give it to a guy at a table, doesn't even wrap his hands around the ball, he catches. How about the girl in the States? We throw it at her, she can make it a finger grab, and then this guy, you know, I can catch him all one-handed. Now, if this guy right here can make this type of catch easy like that, then that means they're just as good as your wide receivers in the NFL.
Who the fuck is this? You sleepwalkers fuck me up. Do you know that? See, y'all only spot out a tie-tie ass and retarded ass mask. Like this. Well, I look at this and laugh, because clearly I can see who this is. Just as sure as Bron's wife don't want to hold his hand. Booyah, like I knew ya. Game. Peekaboo, I see you, motherfucker. This is the deep deception of the lame. It's good. Nothing about you is game. Everything about you is lame. Do you know that? Why you and Bron got the same amount of kids, same age range? If you so LA as in confidential, why the fuck you ain't never been at a Lakers game when Bron playing? Why you two ain't got not one pick together? I'll tell you why, because the game has been dead since 50 and game beef. So the same actor who been playing the lame as in the game has been playing Bron as in King James. So the question is, Peekaboo, who the fuck are you? Wake up! We coming!
Big Bob, let me ask you this, man, because I read somewhere where you said that Super Bowl III...
Hold on, let's line this up properly.
Okay.
Super Bowl III, Baltimore Colts, the power of the NFL, taking out the upstart New York Jets from the AFL. You guys were the biggest favorite in Super Bowl history, right? No way you could lose. You end up losing 16-7. What happened?
Well, I personally think the game was fixed.
The game was fixed.
Yeah.
Why?
So Michael and his peers can make the money that they'll make.
Michael Irvin, you made the league better. Is that what you're saying? If you guys lost?
See, if the Jets don't win that game, then they don't have the NFL the way it is today.
Oh, because it was the merger. It was
the merger. That was the
Right.
third.
How did they fix a game like that?
See, the quarterback.
Yeah.
If you remember, we were inside the 25 times in the first half.
Right.
And come away with no points.
Right.
Which is not a characteristic of a Colt team.
But nobody came to you and said, "Hey, Bubba, here's
No.
Well, who did they go to? Sorry.
You see how Bubba like that, Chris? You trying to get me killed.
You know his name until you get close to the draft, and his name is David Stern. You always know who this man is.
I met him before the draft. He says, even before the lottery, he said, "You want to play where it's hot or where it's cold?" And I said, "Hot." Then Orlando gets the ball. I don't think none of it. I'm at the draft, and he's coming up with the envelope, and he's looking at the envelope, and he goes,
a stretch there, but you guys pulled it out and was a big win.
David Stern wonder why the league is losing money. That's why. People pay good money to come watch these athletes play, and they try to take over the fucking game.
Think about it. You're not going to catch the company, man.
Well, they're not technically doing anything wrong, but Vetta and Foster are fixing the game on behalf of the company.
Yeah.
So there's no illegal, because the NBA is an entertainment company. It is wrestling. From a paperwork contractual standpoint, the NBA is wrestling.
And they don't get publicly reprimanded like we do.
No, because most people watch Game 7 of that Spurs-Pistons series, and unless you're a Pistons fan, so this tiny pocket of America is watching this game being like, man, our big men have 14 fouls and Tim Duncan has 2.
What gave you problems in that third quarter?
You know, last year I said something, I'm fined $50,000 or $25,000 for saying it, so I won't say it.
So nearly every Sports Illustrated reporter just got fired. Like every single one of them. Like doesn't matter how long they've been there. Almost all of them just got sacked. And it proved to me that like our economy is just a series of pyramid schemes stacked on top of each other, pretending to be multiple brands. Like, it's crazy to me. Some people look at the back of a dollar bill and they see that pyramid like, that's Illuminati. I'm like, no, that is a series of pyramid schemes stacked on top of each other, posing as an economy. So what happened today with Sports Illustrated was crazy. So the company that ran Sports Illustrated, notice I said ran, not owned, was called the Arena Group. Arena Group would lease the name. They licensed the name. They rented the name Sports Illustrated from Authentic Brands Group, LLC. They would pay a monthly or annual fee for that. They recently missed a $3.75 million payment from Arena Group to Authentic Brands Group, LLC. And so because of that, Authentic Brands Group said, you're in breach of contract. Now you owe us $45 million. I don't know who writes these contracts. I'm assuming it's like the living embodiment of cocaine. So then Arena Group freaked out and sent out a mass email to everyone, was like, everyone's laid off. We'll figure out who still works here. It's weird because like Sports Illustrated's still tweeting, but some of those feel like automated tweets. And same thing with some of the articles. So I wouldn't be looking to Sports Illustrated for a lot of reporting coming up. But what's crazy about this, Authentic Brands Group, LLC, I'd never heard of them, right? I started looking into them. They own 50 plus well-known brands. And some of these started to make me realize like, oh, they just bought all of the stores that were in the mall. Like that's how this has happened, right? I'm going to list you some of the brands that this one company owns, okay? Remember, when you're walking down the mall, you're like, wow, look at all these stores. This is one company at this point. Ready? Reebok, Forever 21, Tap Out, Brooks Brothers, Nautica, DC Shoes, Nine West, Lucky Brand, Izod, Airwalks, Eddie Bauer, Aeropostale, the estates of Muhammad Ali, Elvis Presley, and Marilyn Monroe, the likenesses of Shaquille O'Neal and Julius Erving. That's right. They own Shaq Space. Authentic Brands Group LLC manages Shaq Space and Forever 21. That's the same company. Tap Out and Airwalks, the same company at the end of the day. And they themselves are owned by two massive private equity companies, the CVC Capital Partners and HPS Investment Partners, LLC. So yeah, we're just like six companies in a trench coat pretending.
Interference, how organized crime influences professional football. Please welcome its author, Dan Moldea. Virtually every team owner gambles.
No fewer than 26.
That's
NFL team owners have documented ties. Past and present NFL team owners have documented business ties to either the gambling community and or the organized crime syndicate. I'm also saying that no fewer than 70 NFL games have been fixed.
What has happened?
Well, I first got into this about 1983. Vincent Persani, who is the head of the Michigan State Attorney General's Office Organized Crime Division, told me, if you're going to do a book about the NFL, Dan, you're going to have to get into this guy, Don Dawson, because he was fixing games. We knew it. I went to my friends and my sources at the Internal Revenue Service, the Organized Crime Intelligence Division. They said Don Dawson was fixing games. I went to the FBI, the Organized Crime and Racketeering Section of the Justice Department, and Strike Force field offices. Everybody told me what Don Dawson was fixing games. I then went to Dawson. I tracked him down. I jumped through all kinds of hoops to interview him. And when I interviewed him on about the 7th or 8th interview, he admitted to me that he had personally participated in the fixing of no fewer than 32 NFL games.
How does that happen?
He liked to work with the quarterback. The quarterback would come to him and say, I need some bread. What's the line on the game this week? And the bookmaker would say, you guys are favored by 6 points. And then the reply was, we're not going to cover the spread. And basically that was it.
Are drugs involved in this at all?
Yeah, drugs are the real variable in all of this. I mean, when a drug dealer has a relationship with a player, there's an extortionate edge to that situation whereby that dealer has that player's career in his hands because of the drug policies within the NFL for throwing a person out. Within the past few years, no fewer than 9 NFL teams have been investigated because their players were receiving drugs from gamblers. Now, I know gamblers who, on principle, refuse to sell drugs, but I'm not aware of many drug dealers who, on principle, refuse to gamble.
Investigations get quashed.
The NFL security people, who are all former Justice Department people, will go to their colleagues, their old colleagues in the Justice Department, or in these various law enforcement agencies, and they'll say, we can handle this internally. Let us handle internally so that we're not getting all the publicity that we would be getting.
It is a strange sport because it is the one sport where you can go to a game and come away, even if your home team has won, disappointed because you're not as much interested in the outcome as the point spread.
Now they're starting to legalize gambling in Oregon. They're going to have a sports lottery, NFL lottery in Oregon, Kentucky. I mean, the state isn't in the bookmaking business for eleemosynary or philanthropic purposes. Yeah. They're going to be in this to make money. They're going to take a 40 to 60% skim of the handle of the total pool of bets. And in the end, they're going to educate the public as to how to gamble, how to use the point spread. And then the public is going to realize that it can get a bigger bang for its buck from Charlie the bookie, the friendly local bookmaker at the corner bar, who's going to be put up $11 to win 10 and taking a 10% vigorish or commission on the losing bets he books.